Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is a very strange day because this is the first time I'm filming since finishing my degree. I kind of wanted to just like sit down and discuss everything that I wanted to discuss for a long time, but I felt needed to be rounded up into one little video. Let's see how long it will be. Hopefully this is kind of like the bookend of one part of my life. So a lot of you know that Sheffield wasn't my first choice university. I applied to Sheffield through clearing because I was in kind of a like panic rush state, and I just wanted to go to uni because everyone else was going on. I didn't want to be left behind. And I knew there was part of me when I was doing it, I was like, just take a year out, just take a year out, and then an overwhelming sense of me just panicked about being left behind and everyone moving on, and a lot of stuff like that. And people know what I'm like. I'm very sentimental and I hold on to things a lot, and I myself acknowledge it as sometimes avoiding change, and I don't really like it, so I kind of just jumped at it. Now looking back, I should have given my gut reaction a second chance and listened to myself for a bit longer than making the decision to go straight for university, because the whirlwind that happened afterwards may not have happened if I'd given myself a second thought. So first year and second year, the first half of second year were really tough for me. First year I struggled with depression. I didn't really socialize. I was kind of sick of being in the city that I didn't want to be in. I was with people who I came to uni with friends from home, and although it was comforting because it made me feel like a part of me from home was still there, it was a bit of a burden because everyone was enjoying their lives and I was like, I don't really know where to go because I only rely on these people. And I really struggled to begin with, and in second year as well, I kind of had this perception that people didn't want me around, and that goes back to being younger and being bullied and stuff like that. So it's like, as a psychology student, I can like pick up things from my past and figure out why I'm acting like I am. And I struggled with depression in first year. I never really got around to doing a video just talking about depression because there's too much to unpack, so I think I will do one. I just need to sit down and plan it properly. At the end of first year I did a blog post, and that got a lot of comments and a lot of feedback from people, and that made me feel really good because it was stuff like I've struggled through first year as well, and I found it really hard, and university is not painted like the way that they think you'd want it to see it as. It was just a bit of a wake-up call, and I was like, wow, right, it's not just me who thinks like this, and it's not just me who's experienced this. So yeah, first year was really hard, and the beginning of second year was really hard. So yeah, first year and the first half of second year were really tough for me. I struggled a lot, and there was a lot of things just playing on my mind, and it just didn't make uni fun for me. Like, I really hated being here at uni. I'm not here at uni, I don't know why I just said that. I went home quite a lot, but that's part because I'm kind of a home bird. I've always been a home bird. Strangely, third year was my best year at university, albeit the hardest. Let's say hardest work-wise, and accomplishment-wise. I didn't do well in my personal standards, so there was downfalls of that. But there was a lot of work to do, a lot of stress, but I found third year more enjoyable because I was distracted more. Because I was working harder, I was playing harder as well. Like, I was going out a lot more, I was keeping myself busy, I was spending more time with the people that I'd made friends with and really got on with. Second and third year I really kind of found my knit group of people. Third year was kind of like a big deal for me. Like, I did 2 videos for the university, and I did an Instagram story for the university. The university picked me up because of my mental health videos that I did on my personal channel. So I got the opportunity to work with the university, which I really enjoyed. Like, it makes me really happy looking back on it because I'm like, I'm so glad I got to do that and got that experience. And it was something that I was really scared of. Like, at the beginning I was like, oh my god, people are gonna see me, and like, what are people gonna think of me? And then at the end I was just like, sod it. This is what I enjoy doing, this is my passion, and if I don't do it, I'm never gonna get a chance like this again. I was also social second, third year, so that kept me busy as well. And I think one of the biggest things about being at uni is loneliness and everything like that. And keeping busy was my way out of it, because then I didn't have time to think about all these negative things that were going on in my head. I just kind of pushed them to the side and they weren't a priority. And the more I kept myself busy, first to second year to third year, the better I got at coping and the better I got at dealing with my anxieties, my worries, my stress, my depressive thoughts about myself, because they took a backseat and they weren't important. I would say like this year's been my best year, because I've just had time to kind of let go. And as weird as that sounds, I've not let go, but I've let go of some of the insecurities that I've had about myself, and like views about people that I've held on to before. One of my biggest regrets, honestly, is not starting YouTube before I came to uni or in first year and vlogging the university experience and stuff like that, because I've not had a characteristic experience at uni. Ones they paint to you before you go to uni. So I wish I'd vlogged that, and I wish I had started beforehand, which would have helped me now, because I would have been in the loop a bit more. And I think because if I'd started YouTube a lot earlier, because it's my passion, like I enjoy spending time filming and I enjoy editing, because I just enjoy, like, it's something that I'm passionate about and I enjoy putting myself out there now. If I'd started it a lot earlier, I think I would have avoided some of the issues that I had at uni. Like, at certain points when I was down, I could have just spent time doing YouTube. If I was lonely, I could have done YouTube, but because I didn't start it as early, I think I missed out that opportunity. And again, yeah, like I regret not doing a lot of university vlogging, like day in the life, like study with me and things like that, because that would have just kept me busy, and like times where I needed to keep myself busy would have been really beneficial, and it would have just helped me in the long run, I think. And I think some of my insecurities just held me back from doing so, and I wish that they didn't, because in third year I was just like, sod it and go for it. I just wish I had that realization a bit earlier. Myself, I know to use regrets as guidance now for what to do next, and I don't really see them as regrets. There's just things I count them as missed opportunities, which I'm upset about, but you learn from it. And what can I do now to develop that, improve upon that? I think, like I've made it clear in my university videos, university's painted out to be such an amazing experience, the best years of your life, and the reality is there's a lot of people who suffer, and that is not portrayed, because of course, like, you want people to come to your university, you don't want to highlight the struggles, but I think it's important to make people aware at least of how much work there is, how much stress there is, like mental health issues and things like this, because it ruins experiences. Like, I've really had a bad time because I've been so focused on my mental health and like worrying and panicking and like being upset that I've forgotten to have a good time. But then I look at it and I'm like, I haven't forgot, I've just not had a good time. So there's like a two-way relationship to look at it, like to examine it, I guess, kind of. Don't know what I'm saying, I'm just babbling now. And there's a lot of people who suffer, like a lot, like everyone in my friend group and like acquaintances have suffered to some degree. It's surprising because it's so like not talked about, and I think universities need to make more of an effort to kind of emphasize that before people kind of take the plunge and have to learn for themselves in the personally. And it's not a fun way to have a good time. Like, it's not a fun way to, it's not fun at all. It's like, I would have rather university had shown us the good side of university, but also been like, it's hard work, there's down days, there's up days and things like that, instead of all things, all good, all bright, everything's fine. It makes it better so you're prepared and you know where to go before. Whereas when you're going through it yourself and you've not had that idea at the beginning, because like there's the idea that your flatmates will be amazing in first year, you have an amazing time, nothing was like that for me, and I really struggled because I was like, I'm not having the experience that everyone else is having. What am I doing wrong? What's wrong with me? Am I at the wrong uni? Is there something wrong with me? And I think universities need to do a lot more to kind of make people aware that it's not all rosy. University has been the best days of my life, but also a lot of the worst days of my life. I can't really compare it to anything else, but I've had a lot of down days, like really down days, and I've had a lot of good days. So it's not all good. Like, I've not enjoyed myself every single day. There's been days where I've been like in my room just doing my own thing, or I've been out having a good day, like out doing something fun, or just being in my thoughts. The perception that it's all good, but it's not always the best days of your life. Like, I've had the worst, but I've also had some really amazing days that I'm going to cherish forever. During my time at university, I was also diagnosed with depression in first year, and then anxiety. And anxiety has just kind of like followed me through all 3 years, as it was kind of like underlying. It's kind of like a big life change. I mean, it changed my life because it changed the way I looked at things. I panicked a lot more, I worried about things a lot more. But after being diagnosed, I still worried about things, but I felt more comfortable with it because I was like, there's nothing wrong with me. Like, it's a normal thing that happens to people. I think being diagnosed and like suffering from it has made me a lot stronger and a lot more aware of what I'm good at and what I'm not so good at, and what things trigger my irrational beliefs and what things make me upset, what things make me panic. So it's helped me tailor the way I work day to day, the way I go about interactions with people, the way I deal with situations, me avoiding situations that I need to avoid. I've just adapted more so to the environment I kind of see it as. Like, I guess like I've become more aware of how to deal with things and have better ways of coping. Okay, so it's been a while since I last filmed because my camera battery died twice in the space of filming this whole video. So recharged, it's nearly 8:30 now. I need to kind of finish the rest of this. So here goes. And having a diagnosis, I think, has helped me kind of take a bit of pressure off myself, because before I thought it was my fault. Having a diagnosis kind of like alleviated a little bit of weight off me. And I guess the biggest thing at university that I've accomplished is coming out to my family, especially my mum and my dad. My mum kind of accepted it straight away because it was kind of in the midst of me feeling suicidal and just blurting out everything that I was upset about and how uni's going and how I felt so isolated and on my own. My mum kind of just gave up everything. She was like, I don't care, you're still my son. My dad took a little bit longer to come around, but he was just as open and happy as my mum. Just a little bit longer though, took time wise, but I just think because that's what my dad's like. So I'm super grateful, and I feel like that kind of just came up because I had to come out with my mental health because that was causing some mental health issues. So if I wasn't being honest with myself, I wouldn't be here, I guess. I'm very proud of myself, and I'm very happy and I'm very thankful that my parents have been so accepting of it. I've grown up, I've matured. I'm not the same person I was before uni started, and I'm okay with that. I feel like personal growth is one of the best things, and I've thankfully become a new person, and I think a better person. Because before uni I didn't worry about everything. I didn't get upset about a lot of things. I didn't panic, I didn't worry, but I think all those things have taught me that that's me. Like, I just love planning and I love to worry, because if I don't worry, I don't get things done. And bring this point back to things that I've learned. I've learned that it's okay to plan meticulously because it makes me feel better and it keeps me organized. and that's beneficial. And one of the biggest things I want to kind of emphasize in this video is that before university, I grew up being bullied and stuff, and I was always being left out, and people didn't want to spend time with me, and people would lie to me and things like that. And university kind of started off like that because of my old friends, but I kind of learned that not everyone is like that, and a lot of people have shown me that people are good, people like me, people want to spend time with me, people appreciate me, and people love me. And I think that's one of the hardest things that I've had to deal with being at uni, because I've been like, no, you're all lying, but everyone is telling the truth. And to all of those people who have made me feel comfortable, made me feel special, and made me feel wanted, and made me feel a part of their group, you all know who you are. I don't even need to say, because I've said many times to all of you, but you have changed my life, because you have opened me up to knowing that people aren't malicious and as horrible as it sounds, like people don't care. There's like something ingrained in me that says that I'm brown and like I'm from a different background and I'm not welcome, and I guess I kind of just needed a kick up the ass and to be told that people want me around and don't care about anything. They care about who I am. And honestly, there is endless love for every single one of those people who have made me feel at home. I kind of just want to end on this point. We all grow up. You learn the people that you invest the most in turn out to be the people who give back the least, and that's okay. And that's no shade intended, like nothing like that. It's just part of growing up. Some people are different. Some people are like exerting energy, but some of the closest friends I've had have turned out to be the people who have given me the least back. And sometimes it's just time to cut things off, and I have done that, and I've drifted apart from some of my friends. But some of the people I've made friends with at uni have been better friends to me in the 2 years I've known them than 6-7 years that I've had with my other friends, and that really says a lot. The whole university experience, there are elements that I have really loved, there are elements I've hated. Had a lot more struggle than I've had enjoyment. But then there's the other side that tells me that I couldn't have this enjoyment if I hadn't had the struggle. So I say, no, I wouldn't do university again. But if Rochelle from the past had been told that this is what your experience would have been like, I wouldn't have gone through with uni. But here's the tipping point. I would do university again. And so many people have asked me and I've said no, definitely not. And yeah, I would do it again. I wouldn't be here without all of that. And I wouldn't be the person I am now. So yeah, I'd do it again. I think ultimately, Rochelle not knowing before university how hard it would have been, would have still done it, and I still would have done it now. Rochelle knowing how hard it would be, I think that Rochelle, the old one, would have been too scared and too worried about all the hardships, and would have chickened out. And I know, because that's me, I know what I'm like. But I'm glad I've stuck through it, and I'm glad I've met some amazing people, some lifelong friends, people who have taken me in, people who have made me feel comfortable and everything. Again, I cannot stress this enough, like, my whole heart is out there, and they've taken it, they've nurtured it, they've kind of added to it. And as cheesy and corny as it sounds, I think you kind of learn more about people, more about yourself when you're really struggling. And I think I've just been very blessed and very lucky to have met some amazing people who have made my time better than it was. And I just want to end off by saying, if you're considering university, please speak to people who've gone through it and get both sides. Get the good sides, get the bad sides, get the ugly, get the neutral, get the boring, get the exciting, get the exhilarating, get the dull. Get everything, put it on a mind map, spread it out, and then make a decision. And then also know that university is not the only option. There are plenty of other pathways. The message I want to kind of send is that university is hard. It's painted in a way that it misses out all the sharp edges, I guess. And hopefully this video kind of helps enlighten those edges and show you the good, the bad, the ugly. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you have, please leave a like and please don't forget to subscribe. And on that note, I shall see you guys in my next video. See you later.